Sit back and enjoy our final quarterfinal session of 1993. It's Tier 1 anyway. Let's go to Frank Mazzacco and Tommy Reed. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right, Perry, thanks very much. And if you don't mind, I'd like to sit back and enjoy this one myself. Let the hockey fan come out in me, because when you look at a number 2 team in the state against a number 3 team in these quarterfinals of the state hockey tournament, you're just hoping for one of the greatest games you'll ever see.
You know, I think we are going to see a tremendous game here. And talking to a lot of the people who follow these teams during the course of the year, they both say they're quick teams. They've got the speed, they've got agility, they have some key players in each squad. And yet when you talk to the coaches, they kind of, I think, underrate their own team. They're kind of sitting back a little bit, being very humble about it. But you can bet that they are both intense. And talking to them, you can just feel the excitement, the emotion, not only from the coaches, but also from the players.
Teams very, very evenly matched, and we'll see how they line up when we get ready to drop this puck, as the Spuds get ready to take on the Lumberjacks, and it'll be coming your way live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
.185 horsepower V6. The feeling it gives you on the open road. The 1993 Toyota Camry.
Taking the long way again?
I'll be home soon. Just unwinding.
Few cars actually move you. This Camry just may be one.
Aisle 2. It's for you. Hello?
Mrs. Ward, this is TCM.
Yeah?
If you could change the way banks do business, what would you change?
Put them in more convenient places?
Such as?
Right here at Cub Foods. And then you could be open 7 days a week.
Thank you, Mrs. Ward. Oh, nice sweater.
Oh, thank you.
TCF, banking the way you want it.
Contact herbicides only work for one day, the day you spray. But weeds can come back, so check out Banvel, the only post-emerge, no atrazine alternative that works from day one. Spray it at spike for residual control of the toughest broadleaves all the way to canopy, with no second flushes. So don't settle for one-day control. Get control from day one with Banvel.
If the open road's been calling you, Greyhound's got the answer. Take any trip up to 500 miles for just $49 or less when you buy your ticket 3 days in advance. Every seat, every bus, every day. Greyhound's got great low fares to the places you really want to go. So if you don't want to miss a great deal, don't miss the bus.
The scene is the Civic Center in St. Paul, and tradition continues here as we get ready for this quarterfinal matchup. Teams with identical 24-1 records, the Spuds from Moorhead and the Lumberjacks from the combined program of Cloquet, Esco, and Carleton. Let's go to Dick Stanford and meet the cheerleaders and the players.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our final quarterfinal game of the day, and we'll have tomorrow night's semifinal set with tonight's Battle of the North. First, let's meet the cheerleaders from Moorhead. Nikki Anderson, Heather Beaton, Gina Endersby, Aaron Caldor, Jamie Matson, and Kristen Shervin. And now let's meet the cheerleaders from Cloquet. Jamie Shearer, Christine Kunze, Tammy Anderson, Carly Van Rees, and Christy Blaze. And now let's meet the champions from Section 8 with a record of 24-1, the Spuds from Moorhead. First, junior goaltender, junior defenseman, number 3, Rob Grammer. Senior forward, number 4, Brent Knutson. Junior forward, number 5, Josh Arnold. Senior defenseman, number 6, Justin Wegner. Sophomore forward, number 7, Matt Cullen. Senior forward, number 8, Jim Jacobson. Senior defenseman, number 10, Dan Frisch. Sophomore forward, number 11, Scott Winans. Junior forward, number 12, Jason Redfield. Sophomore defenseman, number 13, Joel Jameson. Sophomore forward, number 14, Rory Corton. Junior forward, number 15, John Haberlot. Senior forward, number 16, Greg Salvavold. Sophomore forward, number 17, Ryan Frisch. Junior forward, number 19, Ryan Pratt. Sophomore forward, number 21, Jared Anderson. Senior forward, number 22, Louis Paquin. Junior goaltender, number 27, Troy Brecky. And junior goaltender, number 33, Jeremy Gregoire. The head coach of the Spuds is Terry Cullen, and his assistant, Terry Shirkliff. And now let's meet the champions of Section 7 with a record of 24-1, the Lumberjacks from Cloquet. First, senior goaltender, number 1, Scott Lubman. Junior wing, number 2, Mark Keene. Sophomore defenseman, number 4, Matt Snesrod. Junior forward and defenseman, number 5, Sean Putnam. Junior center, number 6, Ryan Winterquist. Senior defenseman, number 7, Rick Mrozek. Senior center, number 8, Dan Anderson. Junior defenseman, number 9, Jason Thomas. Senior wing, number 10, is Sergei Petrov. Junior wing, number 11, Jesse Crasweller. Junior defenseman, number 12, Kyle Young. Senior wing, number 13, Aaron Novak. Junior wing, number 14, Pete Papioni. Junior wing, number 15, Jim Bastine. Senior center, number 16, Jamie Langenbrunner. Junior center, number 17, Tori Carlson. Senior defenseman, Adam Dake. Senior center, number 19, Darren Blowert. Sophomore wing, number 21, Justin Morrison. Junior goaltender, number 22, Adam Patlatos. And the head coach of the Lumberjacks is Tom McFarland, and his assistant, Dick Bartholdi. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your officials for this game. The linesman is Paul Stengel, and the referees are James Larson and Larry Dow.
And we are just about ready to get underway with the number 2 team in the state, Moorhead, against the number 3 team, Cloquet. Moorhead made it here by squeezing out a victory over Crookston 3-1 in the first playoff game. Smashed Thief River Falls 8-3, and then came up with a 3-0 shutout led by goaltender Troy Brecky over Rosso 3-0. Meanwhile, for Cloquet, Esco Carlton, from here on to be known as Cloquet, they came in with victories over Greenway 7-2, Virginia 3-0, and Virginia was a preseason pick to come out of that section, and then beating Denfeld 7-2 after an earlier loss to Denfeld during the regular season.
And that was the only loss this year that Cloquet had. When you look also at the record by Moorhead, they lost to Jefferson in the final of the Met Center Christmas tournament by a score of 7-2. So we've got two teams who know the winning ways of this season, and both teams right now surrounding their goaltenders for those last-minute words of inspiration and perhaps some words of perspiration at the same time. But you can, it's fun to go down and watch these kids come in. They've got different haircuts. They've got their game haircuts, and they're excited. They're coming here with shirts and ties on. They look like guys, young kids I remember as juniors, the way we used to dress coming into important situations like this.
3 shutouts to his credit among the 17 wins for Troy Brecky, and a sparkling goals against average.
Well, Terry Cullen very happy with his goaltender, as is the play of Adam Pavlatos as well. Tom McFarland saying he has been one of their keys. He was a transfer from Denfeld, but he's been very solid, very consistent.
And so we are ready to go at center ice with the Langenbrunner line out for Cloquet, with Petrov on the left and Novak on the right. And starting for the Spuds, Ryan Kraft at center, Ryan Frisch on the right, and John Haberlock on the left wing, and we're underway in period number 1. The winner will be moving on to take on Hill Murray tomorrow night. Now it's wrapped into the Cloquet end as they race in after the puck. Cloquet's Adam Dake was there to shoot it around. It's blocked at the blue line, and the Spuds will try to set up. Here's Ryan Kraft on the far boards. He's tied up. Puck taken away, and a lead pass for Petrov just failed to click. This is a very high-scoring unit, but we'll see as this night goes on that the Lumberjacks will be dangerous in their top 3 lines. Each of those lines has at least one player with 29 points. Now both teams making line changes on the fly, as neither of the first units were able to threaten the opposing goaltender. This pass goes through everybody. It's picked up behind the net by Martin, number 2, and finally cleared by Rob Kramer, or at least he tried to, then he was dumped. Big collision behind the net as Jim Bastine was knocked down. Now the lead pass to center for Salvathorpe. He's taken down at the blue line, and then Heen is there to shoot it in deep for the Lumberjacks. Filtering it after is Blauert. Blauert, number 19, lost control of the puck. Now battles for it in the corner with Rob Kramer. The Spuds gain control, nurse it up along the boards, get it to center. And a loose puck finally controlled by Josh Arnold, number 5, their captain, moving in, but then he lost control. And it's played out of the zone by Jim Bastine. From center ice, Kramer backhanding it in. He'll go off on a line change. Played deep in the Cloquet end. They shoot it around to the far boards. Krasweiler trying to get it out, ran into a crowd. Now it's played out of the zone by Jason Thomas.
Frank, I think the one thing you're going to see in this hockey game is the speed of these two teams as well. Both of the coaches were telling me they expect the players to skate very well, but also it could become a very hard-hitting game between these two teams.
Thomas behind the zone net, playing it around for Kyle Young. Young trying to get it out of the zone, but it was wrapped down by Ryan Kraft. And they battled for it. Sean Putnam trying to get it out, and does. Spuds regroup at center. Right wing pass too far, intercepted by Young. Young shooting it around to the far boards. And on the far wall, it's cleared but not out. Spuds doing a good job in this period of holding the point. Here they hold it again as Jameson moves in, and the shot was stopped. A rebound goes wide of an open cage. Out of the corner, the centering pass is picked off by Rick Mrozik, number 7, who will be headed to Minnesota Duluth next year to play. And racing after it is Joel Jameson, number 13, to clear it away for Moorhead. Back out at center, they scrap for it on the boards. And Jameson has it again. His pass picked off by Mrozik, number 7. Mrozik hangs on to the puck, then dumps it all the way down. Back to get it, Dan Frisch, number 10. Far side of the ring to Jim Jacobson as the top-scoring line for Moorhead is out now. Rushing it ahead is Arnold, but he ran into the 3 white jerseys, and it's shot right back to center.
You watch the play so far, and what you've seen here is the ability of the players to take the body. They're not allowing anyone to get by them, and as a result, they're able to turn over that puck a number of times between these two teams.
Now Lumberjacks break loose with the puck far side. Langenbrunner battling to get free. He does, but now he's checked again to the corner. Langenbrunner pops it back behind, and at Petrov has it, put it right in front. And Heen had a chance to tip it in, but couldn't get control. Petrov behind the net. He slips a check, slips through a player, went to pull the trigger, and at the last second, the puck rolled off his stick. And Moorhead shoots it all the way down. They've already waved off the icing, and both teams change on the fly again. Pretty good pace here in the opening 2 minutes or 3 minutes of play. Now to center ice is brought ahead by Bastine. He ran into a check. Heen moving right in, and the save made by Brecky. He holds on. With the break in the action, we'll be right back with the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
The magic formula for family fun is on Full House.
Well, blow me down.
Weekdays at 5 on Minnesota 9.
Well, both teams having good opportunities right here. Here's a little anticipation play, and that's what you have to do. Jamison coming here, making the play initially, but look at the rebound here also, as John Haberlock almost puts it in, but just a little bit wide of the net. Both teams having about one good scoring opportunity, and we've seen one shot by each team at a scoreless first period.
And from the face-off, Moorhead controls. This is Justin Wegner behind his net. Now starts to move it up on the near side. Slides it to center. It misconnects on the pass. On the near boards, here's Putnam trying to play it ahead. Putnam rolled it to the Moorhead line, and it is shot right back by Jamison. It's brought in over the line far side by Paquin. Paquin moves right in. Big save on the doorstep. The puck is still loose. But finally, Adam Pavlovich covers off.
Louis Paquin with a great opportunity coming down. He was on that left wing position, and he had very good speed as he was coming across. And you see the fans talking about the purple power, but it was the Spuds in that case who made a nice play. Watch on the backhand. Now look at the ability to cut back in here. You could just see him over those legs and lean back, so he had the room to come in. And the goaltender having to be very, very tight on that play as Boblatos makes the save on a good opportunity for the Spuds.
Paquin, Cullen, and Wynas out for Moorhead to check the Langenbrunner line, which has Sergei Petrov on the left and Aaron Novak on the right. Cullen in the face-off circle. Langenbrunner wins the draw, but it's still loose in the slot. Here's Paquin going after it, but it's he ties up on the far side with Adam Dake. It hops loose behind the net. Cullen trying to run it in front. He ran into a check. Here's Langenbrunner playing it ahead. That's picked off by Paquin. Paquin, a 4-year star with the Spuds. He'll have 4 hockey letters when he graduates this summer. Then they flip it in. In the corner, the puck comes free, then it's wrapped loose again and batted down by Wynas, who skates it out to center. He's checked by Langenbrunner and then runs into the defenseman on the play, Matt Snesrud. Puck pops free. Here comes Petrov. Petrov trying to circle to get to center ice. He was tied up on the wall. Langenbrunner throws a check. It's still loose at center as they scramble. Mrozik now playing it across to the far side of the rink, and the Lumberjacks will find change on the fly. 9.5 minutes to go. First period, nothing to score. Back to get the puck, Rod Gramer. Gramer fires it ahead. It deflects through. It's tipped in over the line by Ryan Frisch, and the goaltender Pavlovich has to make a save. Now far corner, Kraft has it. He's hammered to the wall pretty hard. Battles to get it in the middle, lost it, but it's kept alive by Gramer, who dumps it in deep. Two very excellent, skilled teams here. Players on both sides playing a flawless first period so far, and very tight checking. Back behind the Moorhead net, they jam up for it. Ryan Kraft had it for a moment, but then lost it. Now they work it out at center ice. Here come the Spuds, led by Kraft. He weaves his way in, and Pavlotis is there to clear the loose puck away. Picked up by Haberlock. He centers it. That's intercepted by the Lumberjack defense. Brought to center and shot all the way down by Adam Dake.
Frank, could have been a very dangerous play. Rick Mrozik going backwards as key defenseman for the Lumberjacks. Hit a stick and actually fell down. Puck almost squirting through, but his teammates able to pick up on it and clear that puck.
Another Moorhead rush shut down at the blue line. They have to touch up as they dump it in now. And Cloquet works it up on the near side, but it's taken away by Arnold, who centers it. Josh Arnold, number 5, and that pass came out. They're going to touch up again as they dump it once more, but this time Moorhead will make a line change on the go. Pass gets away on the near side from Sean Putnam, and it's popped right back into Cloquet territory. They throw it around, far side. Cressweller waiting for it. He was checked. It's alive in the zone. They send it to Cressweller moving in. And Pat Lauder reaches out with the glove hand and spears that one out of the air. A break in the action at the Civic Center, and we'll be right back with the 93 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
What has 800 horns, dozens of antennas, 4,000 wheels, and lives under 3 humps? The Auto Show at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights to the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television and the Minnesota State High School League. 0-0 the score as a centering pass by Matt Cullen came right through. That was very dangerous.
Well, Matt Cullen has been one of the keys for the Spuds this year. He's also the son of the coach, Terry Cullen. I asked how he was to have to coach, and his dad said, not bad at all. He's a pretty good hockey player, but he says, I never tell him that.
Okay. All right, with the score, 0-0. This is High School Hockey 93 live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
From Christian Brothers, the Christian Carbon Composite Advantage Handle. Christian's advanced technology with its exclusive filament wound composite handle gives you greater durability with unmatched performance. It's lighter than aluminum, gives higher speed shots with the same shooting force, has the shape and feel similar to wood. The CCC, the Christian Carbon Composite Handle, with a tough diamond design slab stock blade by Christian. Christian Brothers, World, Minnesota. Hockey sticks made by hockey players.
A lot of experience on both of these hockey clubs, as Tom McFarland's Lumberjacks have 10 returning members from last year's state tournament last year, and on the other side you got 9 returning.
Right from the face-off, and Cloquet has a 1-0 lead. And it happens that quickly. Those face-offs deep in the zone are ever so dangerous.
You know, we have seen time and time again going into a hockey, whether it be tournament play or what it be, the importance of winning face-offs. And that's what happens right here as the puck comes right back, and very quickly that shot is let go. And it's Sergei Petrov who scores for the Lumberjacks for his first goal here of this hockey game, and a key goal also. He is a Russian-born player who came to play for the Lumberjacks, and he's also the type of player that wants to play the Division I hockey.
Petrov with the goal. Langenbrunner the lone assist. 7:31 the time. Lumberjacks up 1-0 here as we're at about the halfway point of period number 1. From center ice, it's flipped in deep by Matt Snesrud. Deep in the corner, Langenbrunner battling for the puck. Takes it away, gets it to Petrov walking in, but it rolled away from him at the last second. Throws it, pitching it, keeps it alive, and backhands it into the corner. Controlled now by Aaron Novak, the third member of this line. Langenbrunner, Petrov, and Novak. They work it up near side, higher at the center, but it gets away from Haberlock. He goes over to pick it up on the far side, is alone in the zone, a little smash up high to the face of Petrov, but no penalty called out of it. No harm, no foul. And play goes on to center. It's tipped free, but the Lumberjacks get it right back, and it's slipped in by Heem. Long lead pass. Here comes Arnold. Breakaway. Backhand goal. Josh Arnold ties it at 8:36.
And what a key play also. Josh Arnold with 42 points on the year, and he is the kind of player takes that long lead pass right here, split the defense, he fakes a shot, goes to his left. Look how high he goes with it. He knows the goaltender has to come down, and he's got to be low, and that's exactly what he does. And Josh Arnold just puts it up high, right over top. And once again, a key goal as we've tied up this game at 1 apiece.
1 minute and 5 seconds apart as Arnold gets his 24th of the year. The junior for the Spuds ties us at 1. Arnold wins this faceoff, now gets a return pass, tries to slip in, breaking with him, Salvador right in backhand. And Pavlonis a big save. That's an explosive unit. Arnold at center with Jacobson on the left wing and Salvador on the right. Now Arnold goes after the puck, but the Lumberjack defenseman Adam Dake is there to clear around. Far point is kept alive by Jameson, and he dumps it into the near corner. They peel away with it. Salvador trying to play it to the point. That hits the skate. Arnold moving in. Centers it in front. Pavlonis! That's a goal! Jacobson, the last man to cruise through the slot. I think he got it. And boy, this line is hungry.
And also that goal was on the backhand as well. As you mentioned, they are explosive. Those goals really seem to open things up. A perfect pass coming right onto the stick of Jacobson from Arnold once again. And the puck just trickles on through. And the Spuds have taken the lead here, 2-1 with 5:50 to go in the period. And the key here is you've got to play the man. And Jacobson, with that explosive power, just got away from his men, took that pass, and on the backhand, put it in.
And a lot of hard work on the boards to earn them the last couple of opportunities, particularly the goal. A drive from the blue line, skips just wide. Third line center, Matt Cullen had that shot. Now Cullen goes after the loose puck. Meets up in the corner there with Kyle Young. And it's played around by the Lumberjacks to the near side, trying to find Jason Thomas. That fails to click. Finally, it's Putnam to backhand it out. Racing after the puck, Graham to knock it away. Now it rolls free to the corner. As Putnam was jammed up on the wall, Putnam tracking it down now back on the near side. Tries to slip a check, he does. Putnam had it for a moment, but then it was popped out of the zone by Matt Cullen, and all the way down. Will there be icing? No, they get to it first. From behind the net, here comes Mrozik. Traffic jam on the far corner. A puck comes free. Far point for Jamison. He can't control, and back at center, Haberlock has it. They work it ahead. Now bringing it in is Salvovold. Salvovold had it roll off his stick. Mrozik for the Lumberjacks tries to get it out. Then they backdoor it to the other side. Collision up on the wall. It's kicked free. Comes loose again to Torrey Carlson, or at least to Adam Dake. Mrozik plays it up on the near side. Waiting for it was Putnam, who gets it to center, and it's rocketed right back in. Lumberjacks trying to set up as Moorhead changes on the fly, but they couldn't take advantage of it. Arnold has a piece of it at the blue line, then flips it in. Pavlonis makes the save. Langenbrunner off the wall to get it all the way down through everybody, and an icing call with 4:08 to go in the first period. We're locked up at a goal apiece. This is High School Hockey 93, live from the Civic Center.
Here you go. Right now, buy a McDonald's Extra Value Meal and get an NBA Fantasy Pack free. Or pick one up for only 59 cents with any other purchase. Win NBA Fantasy prizes like Ball Person for a day at next year's All-Star Game.
Here you go. Thanks, Bill. Anytime, Michael.
And now a word from Michael Jordan. This month's McDonald's Burger of the Month is the McJordan Special.
Like I said.
A quarter pound of beef with cheese, smoked bacon, and tangy barbecue sauce. The McJordan Special. Talk about a crowd pleaser.
Yes, folks, they each do have a goal, but Moorhead also has 2 goals, so they lead 2-1 in this game. I knew that going in, but just forgot about it.
You know, we talk about the explosiveness of these 2 hockey clubs, too. Moorhead on the year had 157 goals, over 6 goals a game. And Cloquet had a total of 149 goals, which is very close to 6 goals in their season. So they can put the puck in the net. We've seen that early on in this first period.
Nice passing play to come out of the zone. Langenbrunner to Petrov, and the shot goes right on. I don't know how he got that shot off. From the line, a drive, and that one sails all the way through as Kyle Young fired. Now they try to flip it in deep. It skips back behind the net. Here's Petrov. Petrov is tied up. He's pinned to the wall. Greg Salvovold has it. Brings it to center. Trying to slip it through the defenseman. Kyle Young does. He's got a man in front. It's Arnold. They fire it to Arnold, and he is smashed into the net. There's got to be a penalty coming up here. And there will be one, an interference call on Aaron Novak. With the score, Moorhead 2 and Cloquet 1. This is High School Hockey 93, live from the Civic Center.
It has a 247 horsepower engine, 228 pounds of torque, a top speed of 162 miles per hour, and goes from 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. But when you're out in rush hour traffic, it's faster to ride the bus.
Salvovold making a good pass right across here to Arnold. At the same time, he has just banged into the net as Novak is coming back, and so the interference call goes against the Lumberjacks, and the Spuds on the power play.
11:43 the time. Novak off. First power play. of the game. The Lumberjacks' power play percentage, well, it's not too bad. It's about 49%. And on the other side, Moorhead, not too bad, 45%. So we're going to see some potent power play units out here tonight. And the first one will be the Moorhead power play. But now we lose a puck. Imagine that, 49% and 45% on the power play.
Well, when you look at those stats, there's obviously it's very dangerous to allow yourself to take any penalties. That was not a bad penalty at that point because Josh Arnold was looking for that puck coming across, and 48 points on the year. He's certainly a guy who can put the puck in the net and make those plays, and so Novak really had no choice rather than knock him right in the net instead of allowing him to get a piece of that puck.
And again, we lose the puck this time into the Cloquet bench, and we'll face it off again. Still a minute 36 to go on the man advantage.
Terry Cullen talks about his lines and how well balanced they are. They've got the 4 top players, and he's got them spread amongst 3 different lines so that he's got that balance throughout. And he's got some key players, but he doesn't like to say that I've got one good line. He says, I've got some good lines. He said, they're all good as far as I'm concerned, and we play as a team.
Right now they're playing a man short as it's flipped up on the far side. Luke Paquin brings it in. Paquin flips it in deep. Out of the corner, Ryan Kraft. He is tied up on the wall by Mrozik, and it's driven out of the zone by Jim Bastine. A minute on the power play. Brecky leaves it behind the net. Here come the spots. Both teams changing here on the fly. Now Arnold out to center. They flip it ahead. Possible 3-on-2 as they bring it in. Long shot skips all the way through. Jim Jacobson had it. Now Mrozik trying to dig it out. And does, and gets it all the way down. 45 on the power play. Arnold from behind his own net. Moorhead with a 2-1 lead at center ice. It's rejected by Kyle Young. Back at the blue line, they jam up. Petrov is there. He has to spin away to get it to Langenbrunner. Breaking in. He's held up from behind. He breaks free. Short-handed. And the loose puck hits the goal post. Rebound to goal. Petrov.
Oh, Petrov doing a great job of coming in behind to pick up that loose puck, but what a play by Jamie Langenbrunner. We've heard so much about him being the top player in the state. And we can see why right now. There's the initial pass by Petrov over to Langenbrunner. You watch him. Look how he loses a defenseman. They just should have keyed in on him. They did not. He stays right on top of that puck and gets it down and hit the pipe initially. But look coming in there. Petrov had made that initial pass. He came right back into the play again. And what a goal that was. And you've got to give a lot of credit to the Lumberjacks as they scored that goal short-handed. And they have tied up the game at 2 apiece.
Cloquet scored the first goal of the game. Now they have answered with the 4th goal of the game. It's tied at 2. Petrov his 33rd. Langenbrunner will get at least 1 assist there, and then 13:22 is the time of the short-handed goal. And we'll have a face-off coming up again.
And what an inspiration goal that was also. Whenever you score a goal short-handed, that really picks up your team. Not only to kill off a penalty, but make those things happen. And those certainly are players that can make things happen.
Give junior defenseman Kyle Young the 2nd assist on that goal. Now just about 9 seconds left of the man advantage with a face-off out at center. Cloquet controls, and it's driven all the way down by Rick Mrozik. Stopped behind the net by Brecky. Arnold has it now. Looking for Greg Salvo. Instead he goes to the other side as the penalty expires. We're 5-on-5. Here come the Lumberjacks. 3-on-1. They feed it ahead. A shot turned away by Brecky. I think Darren Flowert had that last chance. Mrozik at center, flipping it in with a minute to go, and apparently we've lost the puck here in a face-off.
You know, on that last play also, on that goal, Arnold was back on the point position, and sometimes you lose something when you take some of your key players and you put them back there in a power play. You're going to have problems, especially in a one-on-one. The forwards are not used to playing the man. They're looking out for the puck all the time. He missed his check, and that allowed the Lumberjacks to come right in there with Langenbrunner making the first shot, and then with Petrov coming in to pick up that loose puck to tie up the game at 2.
1 minute left in what's been a pretty darn good period of hockey here. We're tied at 2. The shots are tied at 6. And I guess that's kind of what you would expect or at least hope for. Of course, if you're impartial, you would. But the folks in Moorhead have one idea, and those in Cloquet, Esco, and Carlton have another. They dump it in deep. Back behind the net, here's Adam Dake. 40 seconds left on the clock. It rolls free. And the centering pass by Haverlock just failed to connect as he was well wrapped up at the side of the net. Well, they rattle it off the boards, but still not out. Haverlock popped it in front, and it's taken behind the net by Dake. Around on the far side to Heen. He takes a hit on the wall. The lead for Blauert just failed to click. And it's back loose at center ice. A bouncing puck. Dake is there to tip it away. 15 seconds left in the period. And they race it ahead now. Aaron Novak played it in a bit deeper, but it's shot right back out. From center, dumped in by Kyle Young. And back behind the net to Rob Gramer. Seconds winding down. And the horn goes to end this period of hockey here at the Civic Center. A beauty, too. Cloquet had a 1-0 lead. Moorhead came back to take a 2-1 lead. And Cloquet with a pretty late goal here, shorthanded, tie it at 2-2.
It was a good period. I think everything was pretty even all the way around. Both teams having some good scoring opportunities, some good checking. Both well-disciplined, well-coached hockey clubs.
Moorhead 6 shots on goal. Cloquet 6 shots on goal. And on our TCF scoreboard, we see the score at the end of 15 minutes of play. Lumberjacks 2, Spuds 2.
The 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament is being brought to you in part by Danville. From Sandals Crop Protection, residual from day one.
It's your Toyota dealer's Minnesota State Tournament sale. Toyota buyers face off for 4 days of great savings. Corolla gets the save with an incredibly low monthly lease payment. All new for '93. It's Toyota dependability at a real more for your money deal. Camry scores with great lease deals, giving you exceptional value. Save up to $2,000 in factory-to-dealer incentives on T100, Toyota's new bigger truck for full-size utility. With easy financing and immediate delivery, it's a big Toyota power play. It's only a 4-day tournament sale, and your time to score is now.
Mr. Miller?
Yeah.
This is TCN.
Who?
Mr. Miller, if you could change the way banks do business, what would you change?
I'd make them have a lot more cash machines in more locations for emergencies.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Thank you.
TCF, banking the way you want it.
Tell us about it. What'd you see?
It looked like a fire.
The police thought they were lying.
Sticking to the story.
The town thought they were guilty.
I want you to take a lie detector test.
You want to press charges? You do it now.
But these 5 men saw what happened to Travis Walton. The impossible. Fire in the Sky, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, March 12th at theaters everywhere.
Dear Midas, after getting an outrageous estimate at my dealer, I came back to you. Your mechanics,
John,
Jim, Robert,
gave me a free estimate and even pointed out that my brake pads were under warranty, saving me a lot. I was so thankful I bought them all lunch. Thank you, Sarah Acco.
Dear Midas customers, now save 25% on guaranteed brake shoes or pads. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
Welcome back to our Sports Update Center. I'm Perry Williams. The North Stars trying to put off all the distractions about moving to Texas next year, plus maybe even cushion their lead over St. Louis for that last playoff spot in the North Division. The Stars playing Vancouver tonight in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Neutral ice for Bob Gainey and his club. In the first period is Russ Courtnall with the rebound. This tied the game at 1. Now, in the second period, it's Trevor Linden who will connect as Vancouver regains the lead at 2-1. A little break there for Trevor. Checks that stick. But then Mike McDonald fires in as the Stars explode, and it's 2-all. Then Dave Gagne will score not once, but twice. The Stars built a 4-2 lead during the second period, and then Shane Shurla and Gino Adjic enter the ring, and they're scoring off. The right, the left, the right, the left. Now let's check the scoreboard. About 2 minutes to go in this one. The Stars clinging to a 4-3 lead. Gagne a couple of goals. Courtnall got the power play one. The Stars play at St. Louis on Saturday night. Now the Blues are winning tonight by the score of 5-1 over San Jose in the third. Chicago and the Rangers in the stadium tonight tied up 1-1, also third period. A battle of Gretzky And Lemieux tonight, and Pittsburgh wins it by the score of 4-3, and Boston over Montreal by the score of 5-2. In basketball, the Minnesota Timberwolves continuing their road trip tonight with a matchup against the Sacramento Kings. A good start for the Wolves. They're entering the second quarter, and they lead the Kings by the score of 26-20. After this game, the Wolves head to Los Angeles for a game against the Clippers tomorrow night. We showed you highlights of the Chicago-Miami NBA game earlier. The two teams chasing the Bulls, Cleveland and Charlotte, meeting tonight in the Richfield Coliseum. And it was Larry Nance telling Muggsy Bogues, hey, Muggsy, you're 5'3". On the other end, where's John Battle going? Larry Johnson will be on the breakout. Is he a power forward or point guard? He does find Kendall Gill, the star out of Illinois, and who finds the forgotten rookie star Alonzo Mourning for the stuff. But with Mark Price injured, Terrell Brandon has really stepped up his game. He hits the jumper. He gets the foul. Cleveland blows this one wide open. Let's check the scoreboard tonight in the NBA. The Cavs win at 118-99. The Bulls fall by a bucket to Miami, 97-95. Moving on, Denver loses to Detroit, 112-104, and Seattle has defeated Milwaukee tonight by the score of 116-105. In Big Ten basketball tonight, Purdue had a tough battle, but finally did beat Penn State, 57-49. The Boilermakers are hoping they will indeed get a spot in the NCAA tournament. The field will be announced Sunday. In the Atlantic 10 Conference Finals tonight, there's UMass against Temple. The winner of this game will go to the NCAA tournament, an automatic bid. It's Derek Petrie who's jamming at home for the Owls early on, but UMass doesn't give a hoot. Going inside to Harlan Williams for the basket, which ties the game. And let's check the latest score of this one. They're in the second half. UMass is beating Temple by the score of 51-44. Once again, the winner automatically goes to the field of 64 in the NCAA tournament. We're almost done with day 2 of the state high school hockey tournament. Cloquet and Moorhead are tied 2-2 after one period, and we want to get you caught up now on all the day's action at the Civic Center in St. Paul. It was a long day for Austin Packer fans. Their team got drubbed by high-powered Elk River 9-0 in the first game. John Rolfe scoring there for the Elks, who had little trouble in this matchup. They will have their hands, though, full with Bloomington Jefferson. The Jags 6-2 winners over Apple Valley in opening defense of their state title. Joe Bianchi converting the Cortland E-pass in the Bloomington win. Hill Murray is to be reckoned with as well in the other Tier 1 bracket. Pioneers with a tight one over Park Center tonight. Didn't look tight early. Jason Godbutt sneaks around, stuffs it home to open the scoring at 1-0 Pioneers. Not to be outdone, brother Brent Godbutt executes the diving hatchet shot to put Hill Murray ahead 3-0. Stick a fork in Park Center, right? You are wrong, sir. Jason Blyven keeps it alive with the goal there. Cut it 3-2, but the Pioneers do hang on to advance in Tier 1. They'll meet the winner of the Cloquet-Moorhead matchup. Let's check all the scores once again. Tier 1 quarterfinals, Elk River, a winner 9-0. Bloomington Jefferson advances as well. Hill Murray squeaking by Park Center 3-2, and the game you're enjoying, Moorhead and Cloquet tied up 2-2 after a very exciting first period. So that is our sports update for now. Stick around for the rest of tonight's Cloquet-Moorhead matchup, and of course stay tuned throughout the tournament for future sports updates during March Madness here on Minnesota 9.
Now, here's another great moment from past tournament action.
Nate Gillespie, a senior defenseman from Hill Murray, gave this outstanding performance and puts Hill Murray on the board for the first time in the game, his first goal of the tournament.
These great clips are sponsored by Great Clips for Hair.
Come into one of the 56 Minneapolis-St. Paul Great Clips. For the one nearest you, call the connection at 922-9000.
The problem? The solution. Ford Cars and Trucks. Winter-ready, weather-tested. Ford Escort and Taurus, both with road-gripping front-wheel drive. Ford Ranger, redesigned with a bold new look, meaner engine, and a nasty attitude. Ford F-150, strong, rugged, and king of the hill for 15 years. So when winter gets tough, get tougher with Ford Cars and Trucks. See 5 of the top 10 bestsellers at your local Ford dealer today.
Our fiscal year is over, and Best Buy's auditors have been working day and night counting our inventory. We're buried in overstocks, and the pressure is on. We need to clear out the old to make room for the new. So we're offering 1 year, 0% financing throughout the store, and hundreds of price reductions to cut the problem down to size. It all adds up. Big savings and 0% financing for 1 year. This week at Best Buy's fiscal year-end clearance.
Contact herbicides only work for one day, the day you spray. But weeds can come back, so check out Banvel, the only post-emerge, no atrazine alternative that works from day one. Spray it in spite for residual control of the toughest broadleaves all the way to canopy, with no second flushes. So don't settle for one-day control. Get control from day one with Banvel.
There's no place like home for quality oak and leather. And there's no place like home for incredible savings during the semi-annual leather sale. Find the lowest prices of the year on beautifully styled sofas and three-piece sectionals in top grain leather. And during the semi-annual leather sale, save 10 to 30% on top quality leather furniture. For special prices on leather furniture, there's just no place like home. In Bloomington, Roseville, and Crystal. Sale ends Monday.
We're after one period of play in our last quarterfinal game. Cloquet struck first, and it was 1 potato, 2 potato as the Spuds took a 2-1 lead. Cloquet tied it up, and sorry for the joke, but it's 2-2 after one period. And it is also tournament triples time, TCF tournament triples, if you will. Today's lucky number for TCF tournament triples, 714870. Go into any TCF branch, pick up a game card, and play tournament triples. Brought to you by TCF, your television sponsor of the state high school tournament. That's how it stands for now, 2-2. We are waiting for the exciting second period of the game between Cloquet and Moorhead. Many thought it would be a good one, and it is. To this juncture, we'll return to the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Minnesota Pipe Trades and their union mechanical contractors throughout the state are proud to sponsor the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament and to be on the job at the new Mariucci Hockey Arena at the University of Minnesota and Stillwater High School. The Minnesota Pipe Trades are skilled and highly productive craftspeople, specializing in all of your residential, commercial, and industrial plumbing, pipe fitting, and sprinkler fitter needs. As members of the 100-year-old United Association of Journeymen and Apprentices of the Plumbing and Pipe Fitting Industry, the Minnesota Pipe Trades have worked hard for top quality training and performance in the piping industry. Unsurpassed qualifications combined with state-of-the-art training means greater productivity for union contractors and increased consumer satisfaction. The Minnesota Pipe Trades are ready to work with their union contractor and you to produce timely, competitive, and quality craftsmanship.
We'll be on the job in partnership with our pipe trades to produce quality craftsmanship.
Our prosperity is based on your satisfaction. That's why we do the job right the first time, and on budget.
Here you go. Right now, buy a McDonald's extra value meal and get an NBA fantasy pack free. Or pick one up for only 59 cents with any other purchase. Win NBA fantasy prizes like ball person for a day at next year's All-Star game.
Here you go. Thanks, Bill. Anytime, Michael.
And now a word from Michael Jordan. This month's McDonald's Burger of the Month is the McJordan Special.
Like I said.
A quarter pound of beef with cheese, smoked bacon, and tangy barbecue sauce. The McJordan Special. Talk about a crowd pleaser.
From Christian Brothers, the new Heat and Shoot electric blade replacement tool. It's the easy way to replace hockey blades and composite and aluminum handles. Place the new Heat and Shoot around the blade end of the shaft. Place your foot on the blade and pull the handle from the blade. Once the blade has been removed, turn the stick over and place the butt end on the floor. Insert the new blade into the shaft. Heat and Shoot is the new and simple way to replace blades in the Christian composite and aluminum handles. The new Heat and Shoot from Christian Brothers, Warroad, Minnesota.
Minnesota's favorite one, Channel 9.
So far, so good. No, so far, very good. The hockey pundits up here in the press box are smiling. We're sure the fans are, and we're pretty sure that you are smiling back at home. That first period probably was the best period of hockey we've seen in 2 days.
I think you're absolutely right, Frank. It was well played by both clubs. They're well disciplined out there. They had opportunities. They made the most of them. And they're also both teams that don't give up. When something happens, they come right back. And we saw that was evident by the quickness and the response of giving up a goal.
Sure, the first goal went to Cloquet, and then Moorhead came back.
Well, this is a nice goal by Josh Arnold. He took that long pass from Jamison, and on the backhand, get it up high enough, and that's what he was trying to do. And that was a key goal, because after giving up a 1-7-31, coming right back just a little over a minute later and tying the game up at 1 apiece.
Moorhead had a 2-1 lead and a power play, but then this happened.
Langenbrunner makes a great play here as he eludes everyone. The puck is just laying there, and you'll see Petrov come right back in here, and there's that loose puck, and before anyone can get to it, it's in the net, and we're tied at 2.
6-6 were the shots, 2-2 the score, and I don't know, Tom, about you, but well, here's a look at the scoring summary. First of all, Sergei Petrov getting the first one at 7:31, his 32nd, then Arnold cashing in at his 24th of the year. Moorhead's Jim Jacobson scoring goal number 13 to give Moorhead the lead, and then Petrov shorthanded his second of the night, 33 for the year, at 13:22 to tie this one up. The statistics indicate, and I think the style of play indicates, is that there's not a great deal of difference between these two teams so far.
I agree with you. I think they're both very good skating hockey clubs. They take the body well. They're able to shoot, make the plays, and neither team wants to give up a lot of ground here. We've seen a lot of turnovers at certain times in this game, but the transition game also, when that puck comes in the defensive zone, for those defensemen to get the puck and move it right back out ice again and take a defensive play and make it into an offensive one.
And we're looking at teams that have depth. We're not looking at just one lines anymore here. We're seeing some experienced players, and both teams are balanced. They have almost equal numbers of sophomore, juniors, and seniors. They've got similar number of players returning from high school tournament action from last year, 9 to 8 roughly in those numbers, and all things so far pointing out equal in a 2-2 score after 15 minutes of play. Changed ends, and Mrozik dumps it in. Comes loose back behind the net. Cloquet battling for it. Aaron Novak is there at least for a moment. Langenbrunner trying to pull it out from a crowd. And it slides free. Back behind the net. Justin Wegner having some trouble. It's popped right in front of the net, but taken away by Moorhead. A quick outlet pass. They fire it ahead to Ryan Kraft. But he ran into two checkers, one of them Mrozik, who has really turned a lot of eyes here at the Civic Center after one period of play. He's an outstanding senior defenseman. Puck on the far board. Joel Jamison, or rather Kyle Young, went after it. Now Langenbrunner centers it. And that's a try for Aaron Novak has failed to click. At the line is fired in front. Here's Langenbrunner knocked down to the ice, and the spots get it out at center. Swept away for a moment at least by Kyle Young. Driven to the line where it hits a stick. Langenbrunner races it ahead. Finds Novak, who fires, and the shot goes wide. Langenbrunner playing it to the point. Petrov overskates it. Langenbrunner wraps it in front. Taken by Jamison. He threads the needle. Oh, the diving pull at the line. Prevented the breakaway. Whoa, what a play by Jason Thomas. So early here in period number 2, and this game is still tied at 2, but only by a bare minimum. We'll be back after this.
There's only one place to find TV's funniest news team.
Kiss my...
On Murphy Brown.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Minnesota 9.
We've seen Joel Jamison a number of times in this hockey game take the puck and make those long passes. He does it right here, trying to thread the needle, but you can see just at the last second, the diving play by Mrozik will knock the play, so it was a little bit offside, but Jamison doing a good job when he gets that puck to headman that puck and usually catching those defense a little bit off guard.
Boy, that was going to be a cold turkey breakaway,
What
too.
is it ever?
Now Matt Snesrud goes back for it. They're going to wave off icing here. Up on the wall, the spot's taken away. Arnold beating the player to the puck. Now, in turn, taken away by Darren Blount. Blount can rush the puck pretty good. He's a second-line center iceman, slipping it in. Off the wall, it comes. It's tipped behind the net by Martin, but the Spuds get it and now move it up ice. Jim Jacobson fires it across, going after to Salvovold. He's taken to the corner by Mrozik, number 7. Loose behind the net. Here comes Cloquet. Cross ring pass. They try to flip it to center for Jim Bastine that fails to click. And Arnold spinning around to shoot it back to the line. There's Mrozik. His pass picked off and then tipped right back out at center. Then dumped in by Dan Frisch. On the wall, it's played around. They tried to get it over to Heen. That didn't connect. Back at center ice. Joel Jamieson threading it in. Goes into the corner. Off the wall it comes. Beckton had a chance. He overskates, and there's a shot stopped in front by Pavlonis. Point blank try. Now to the far point. That one hops away from Justin Wegner. Rosick is there to clear. Wegner keeps it in. Back at the line, Wegner was trapped outside and has to get some help from his partner, Joel Jamieson. Now the Lumberjacks try to play it ahead. They want to make a line change. Of course, second period here, we've got the long change for both teams. Now brought in by the Spuds, but they can't control back the other way. Crasweller. Crasweller gets a return feed. Now he'll have to track it down in the corner. Helped up against the wall by Jason Redfield. Far side of the rink, Torrey Carlson playing it away. They work it back to the near point, waiting Jim Jacobson. That shot, or not Jacobson, but a long shot by Jason Thomas deflects away. It hops free, and here's Ryan Pratt trying to weave his way to center. We have periods of play where we've got tight checking, we've got some breakaway speed, we've got a lot of everything going on here in this hockey game. And with the break in the action, we'll be right back with the '93 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
I could tell you Subway's 6-inch tuna sub is the world's greatest, but instead I'll tell you about our special $1.89 price so you yourself can discover the sandwich that's a tuna fish wish come true.
Frank, you talk about having a lot of action in this game, and there's no question that the passing of both of these teams has been very, very active. The ability to take the man out of the play to leave the puck for your teammate to pick up is also evident. These guys are well coached, and they play the basic parts of this game and know how to add a little bit to it to make it a little more flashy, but still get the job done.
At the far line, reaching to try to keep it in was Kyle Young. Couldn't do it, nearly lost it to Ryan Pratt. Here come the Lumberjacks, led by Langenbrunner, one man back in a small but nice defensive play to break up the rush by Rob Gramer. He has been an impressive defenseman. Number 3 for Novak at the line. Dropped it for Langenbrunner, who dumps it behind the net. Novak tried to center that, hit Gramer. Langenbrunner behind now. Centers it in front for Novak. He just failed to get his stick on it. Had a point-blank try. Both teams making line changes. Here come the Lumberjacks. Dake gets it to center, then it's broken up. And shot right back out now by Salvovo. Taken by Dake again. Far side of the rink. Wegner flipping it in. Skips back behind the net. They rattle it up on the near boards. Jim Jacobson trying to play it in deep. Jacobson, Arnold, and Salvovo out now for Moorhead. The Lumberjacks come back the other way, and that rush is broken up by the defenseman Wegner. Big collision at center. Now Rosick controlling. Rosick to the red checkered line, 3-on-2, they weave it in. Rosick taken to the corner, and the sending pass goes behind. Keane has it. Now Arnold after the loose puck. At the line, it's kept in by Bastine, and now a whistle as the puck came out and was brought back in. With the score, Moorhead 2 and Cloquet 2. This is High School Hockey 93, live from St. Paul.
The 1993 Toyota Previa is for those families who always seem to have room for others. It could be because they have room for extra cargo. It could be because they have room for 7. Or it could be because in the Toyota Previa, there always seems to be room for one more.
Well, this has been an even hockey game to this point, 2 apiece by these Cubs, but also shots on net. In the first period, 6 each, and in this period, with just a little over 5 minutes played, 1 shot apiece. A lot of the game has been played between the 2 blue lines, so we're not getting those shots.
1 shot apiece, but not a doggy period of hockey at all. Well played. Excellent execution. To center ice, Matt Cullen bringing it in, flips it to the near side for Winans. Winans turns with the puck in the corner, trying to work it to the point, but he was in a crowd. Now from behind, Sensrud sends it around to the far side. He tried to work it in front again, but it rolled off a stick. At the blue line, Gramer has to go back for it, and he's being pressured by Marquine. Back out at center, here's Winans. Winans from Moorhead, driving it in, and he was rattled pretty good by Blauert. Back behind the net, Kyle Young shooting it around at the line, kept in by Frick. Shot to goal! Pavlon is still looking around, doesn't believe it's in, but Moorhead has a 3-2 lead.
Well, that looked like an easy save for the goaltender, but that was not the case, as Pavlonis had some problems with that. Moorhead jumping into the lead here, and what a key goal once again. You have to take the opportunities that come to you and make the most of. We've seen so often where players try and pass that puck off a little bit, and they don't actually try and take the shot. They want to be unselfish, but you can see the shot coming right here as it's right in, and we said it should have been an easy goal. Was not the case, and as a result, a 3-2 lead, and that's Petrov scoring that goal.
Wrong number 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got my sheets mixed up here. Dan Frisch scoring that goal, and that was a key goal. Obviously, and we've seen before, Frank, once a goal scored, the other team comes right back. A quick burst of goals, and that may happen here once again.
Frisch will get his third of the year, 603. We'll wait for some announcements on assist. Here's Petrov centering it. Now Aaron shooting. And their time we're talking about. They respond well in this game. Both teams have. Aaron with the point-blank try there. Now on the near wall, they battle to get it free. Langenbrunner takes it away. Looking for Petrov, but it's batted out by the defense. Back to center. Back to get it is Gramer. Now what a hockey game. Gramer now. His pass goes off his skate as Aaron and Langenbrunner do a good job of forechecking. Here comes the Spud. Kraft worked it up to Frisch on the far side. Kraft takes it in deep, tries to center. That lays loose at the side of the net. Petrov with a check. Brozic clearing but not out at the blue line. Wagner shooting! A deflection and a save by Pavlonis. Now to center ice. Long shot that was deflected as Petrov tried to pull the trigger from 40 feet. Brozic rushing to keep it alive, but it rolled away from him. Petrov battling to keep it alive. They leave him alone, and then they converge on him finally. But I was wondering how long they were going to leave Petrov alone. From behind the net, Greg Salvo, or at least Josh Arnold there, was knocked down. Cleared to the line, but not out. Wagner whacks at it. Broken up at the blue line by Thomas. Thomas got it back in, and Joel Jamieson is taken to the corner. They nurse it along the boards. Now no one really wants it. Back behind the net. Taken by Krasweiler, circle to the blue line. Here's Heen. His shot on a stick save in traffic. A dandy by Brecky. Pile up behind the net. Corey Carlson trying to work his way free. He gets it up on the far side, but Ryan Kraft takes it away. He's blocked at the blue line. What a hit. Now a near break. It dissolves at the Cloquet blue line, and they'll regroup back center. Arnold darting in. He's tripped up. There'll be a penalty call. Cloquet will go a man short as Arnold, with his breakaway-type speed, was tripped up. Cloquet's down a goal, and now they'll be down a man with the score. 3-2 Moorhead. This is high school hockey live from the Civic Center.
Johnson Red, when you have to rely on it.
Check your yellow pages or call the connection for the Johnson Red dealer nearest you.
Well, you've got to make the most of things right here. And Krasweiler right here, you can just see him pull down Arnold, and he's called for tripping. And this will put a power play once again. And this is a key play right now for Moorhead, trying to kill off this penalty.
This is only the second power play of the game. The last time they were short, the Lumberjacks scored a shorthanded goal. Loose behind the net, try our little wraparound stuff. Brozic is there, and he drives it all the way down and on goal. And Brecky leaves it at the side for Rob Gramer. Gramer now to the near boards for Matt Cullen. He leads it ahead at the line. It's brought in by Salvo. His shot. That one nearly fooled Pavlonis. A wraparound try to save a rebound. It hit the goalie. He makes another save. Oh, he's got the horseshoe in the back pocket on this one.
Well, I think you're absolutely right on that one. Pavlonis able to go down, and a number of shots coming to him. He wasn't even quite sure what it was, but he was trying to get back into the play to make certain that if the puck came there, he was going to be on top of it, and he made the key save there. But once again, he has been bombarded. As you watch the play as it unfolds here, there's the first shot. Look at that pad. Now he gets right back up. And as he comes around, you can see the wraparound play, but he had the quickness there and the presence of mind to get the leg across there. And then as the little flip shot was coming towards him, he just grabbed onto it and got the stoppage.
Jim Jacobson wants that one all over again. He was patient. He didn't feel like his shot was rushed. He just didn't get it up high over the pads. Still a minute 15 on the Spuds power play. They lead 3-2. Now it's raced ahead by Salvavold, but they're offside as they bring it in. 6 minutes roughly to go in this period.
Frank, I'll tell you, we've seen very few offsides in this hockey game. I don't remember any others than that one right there. And that tells you the sign of a very good disciplined hockey club on both sides now, because the players who don't have the puck realize they have to hang up a little bit and allow that puck here to get over the line. On the other hand, the puck here has to realize that if he's too far back, to move that puck ahead so they can keep that flow going and not have the wingers have to slow down if necessary.
Still with a man advantage for another minute, but back at center ice, the Spuds regroup. Wegner bringing it in on the far side. Tries to dart in the middle himself. Can't get the shot off. They plugged up that middle pretty darn good, the Lumberjacks did. Then it's cleared all the way down.
So often you see in competition, when a player has the puck, he gets around one guy, he gets the confidence, I'm going to try it again, beat another guy. And that's not always the case. Once you beat one person, what you want to do is, if at all possible, give the puck to somebody else.
Well, give and go. Kraft walking in, looking for Pakin out front. That just failed to work. Kraft back behind the net. Bothered on the play by Jason Thomas. He did a good job. Then Wegner couldn't hold his own. A half minute on the power play, and Brecky is there to play it from an on-rushing Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner gets the puck, and he'll rag it now to kill off some time. Dropping it back for Dake. Dake to Mrozik, and Mrozik shoots it all the way down. 12 on the power play for Moorhead. 5 minutes left, second period. To center ice, they come with Matt Cullen. At the line. Cullen breaking in, trying to slip through Mrozik. Finally gets through, but he's behind the net. Then he's taken to the wall by Dake as the penalty is over, and Krasweiler is back on. It's cleared all the way down by the Lumberjacks, and they'll be nabbed here for icing. With the score, Moorhead 3 and Cloquet 2. This is High School Hockey 93 live from the Civic Center.
The Minnesota Pipe Trades and their Union Mechanical Contractors are proud to sponsor the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament and to be on the job at the new Mariucci Hockey Arena at the University of Minnesota and Stillwater High School. The Minnesota Pipe Trades are skilled and highly productive craftspeople, specializing in all of your residential, commercial, industrial plumbing, pipe fitting, and sprinkler fitter needs.
We'll be on the job in partnership with our pipe trades to produce timely, competitive, and quality work.
Our prosperity is based on your satisfaction. That's why we do the job right the first time.
All right, the Mariucci Conference champs have 3. The Lake Superior Conference champs have 2.
And I think this game is going to go like this all the way through, a seesaw battle, as they both have played extremely well, and you can bet there's a lot of respect from one club to the other club.
They wrap it around on the far boards, and hops loose at center. Greg Salvavold is there, nearly rolled away from Darren Blauert. Blauert got it in, but the Spuds come back and cover well in the zone. Jacobson, the forward, tried to clear but not out. A shot was knocked down in front by Gramer. Gramer's pass knocked down at center ice by Bastine, and then he knocks Gramer down. Here comes Moorhead, and here a two-man rush was broken up at center ice on a nice defensive play by Adam Dake. Now here's Keane shooting! That one got through the goaltender, but never went in. They play it in deep. Adam Dake shooting it around. Dake, number 18, may be one of the more underrated players in this tournament. He's having a fine 2 periods, teamed up with Mrozik on defense. Arnold shooting a 65-footer and a glove catch made by Pavlonis. He holds on.
Well, you talk about opportunities. The Lumberjacks had a good opportunity as Heen was coming in from the side. You mentioned, Frank, it went through the goaltender, and it looked like it did. Well, you'll watch right here as he'll take the pass right here. He takes a shot, and you can see right here the 5-hole, but the inside of the pad, and actually went wide of the net. You don't see that happen very often, especially at that angle. But nonetheless, that's exactly what happened, and I think he would like to have that shot over again, too.
Absolutely.
A little bit of an area there in that 5-hole between the goaltender's legs, and Brecky getting a little bit of a break on that one.
Langenbrunner to face off against Cullen from the draw. Cullen gets it behind the net. They wrap up there. Kyle Young trying to shoot it around. Cullen flipping it right behind the net once again. Here's Jason Thomas. At the line, Here's Jamison shooting. It didn't reach. Cullen had a chance. There's a backhanded save by Pavlonis as he stopped Louis. Taken in close. Oh, was that a big save? Now a three-man lumberjack rush to center as they weave it in. And it rolled away from Sergei Petrov. At the line, Thomas trying to keep it alive. Petrov pokes it once more. Langenbrunner moving in. He is tied up. Petrov shoots. He scores! Petrov ties it at 3.
And that's a hat trick also for Petrov. We called a little bit earlier that it was his goal when it wasn't, but that time it was, as he took the pass. When you apply the pressure, you stay in on top of the puck as much as you can to force mistakes. And as you can see, Petrov along the boards here. Now, where does he go when he doesn't have the puck? He goes for the net. And eventually that puck just slizzers through as Langenbrunner has getting all tied up. And when you got a key player like Langenbrunner, everyone goes to him. That allowed Petrov the freedom to move there. And a quick wrist shot up high over the glove. And we've got a game tied at 3.
Goal number 34, and that is a sniper's goal. You find what corner, what spot of that net is open. Petrov did there and puts it in at 12:06. If we had time, which unfortunately we don't, you can back that rush up, I think, about 30 seconds, and Petrov made a great rush to get the play in the zone to begin with. As he came up the middle, had a scoring chance, but didn't get on goal there. Here he scores from the slot to tie this one at 3. So a goal apiece for these two teams here in the second period after we were tied at 2 at the end of 1. From the line, it's kept in by Adam Date. 2.5 minutes left to go in period number 2. They kick it free and it rolls loose to Joel Jamison, number 13. Jamison up on the far side. His pass is deflected by Petrov. Wrapped ahead by Mrozik. Wagner back to get it. Langenbrunner on him. And they scramble for it at center. Pass is laid ahead for Ryan Kraft trying to beat the defense. There's been very little of that. Now here comes Kraft trying to circle around. Kraft takes it to the far point for a shot. And that one by Dan Frisch butterflies into the near corner. They flip it all the way down. Brecky will watch it go wide and an icing call with 1 minute and 50 seconds to go in the period.
Well, you mentioned that shot by Frisch. He took the shot earlier that eluded the goaltender, and I think he was trying to do the same thing once again. The puck was bouncing just a little bit coming back to him, and that's a kind of a defenseman's nightmare at times, because if it's bouncing like that and you're not able to control it, a lot of times there's players coming towards you and they get that quick break and they're around you. So it's a double stand there, but you have got to make sure you either get that puck or you get the man and someone's coming.
Sergei Petrov with the hat trick goal to tie this one at 3. And we'll have a special feature on the Russian-born player for Cloquet coming up at our intermission in just a couple of seconds, so you won't want to miss that. Now from the scramble in front of the net, it's cleared to the line, out, and then back in by Kramer. It's offside. Oh, that wasn't out by much.
No, it certainly wasn't. Robert Kramer trying to take that puck and just push it in a little bit. He was a little bit slow. He started to back up already because they were breaking out. He saw the opportunity, made the transition coming back in, but it was just a little bit too late.
Petrov, there he is on the bench, a hat trick player tonight, and now a resident of Esco.
And a happy one at that.
I bet you he is. They scramble from the face-off. 90 seconds to go in the period. What a dandy of a game this has been. Mrozik, the defenseman, drops his man Kramer, and play goes on. Mrozik, the defenseman, rushing in deep, figured, well, if I'm going to be in deep, I'm taking someone with me, and it was Kramer who went down. Now Kramer wrapped up again. He battles to get the puck free. Up on the near wall, tried to find Matt Cullen. I'll tell you what, this is a third line out for Moorhead, but it looks, you know, they're just plugging in the pieces here. It's just another piece to the puzzle. The depth is showing for both of these teams.
Well, that's what Terry Cullen had said. You know, we can go with those 3 lines. We've got a 4th line, too. We don't use them a great deal, but our 3 lines are well balanced. We can call upon them at any time to play. And he said when you get in a tournament like this, you play a lot of games, the guys get a little bit tired at times, and so you want to be able to have that depth. And he said we have that this year.
Now, maybe a little bit of a line matchup here as we're getting some last-minute changes. So 1:04 to go in the period. A 3-3 hockey game. Langenbrunner to face off against Ryan Kraft.
Cloquet is the home team in this game, so they get the last change.
And now they encroach a little bit on the circle there to the left of your screen, and everybody gets back. They're poised, the draw to the Spuds. They come out with a possible 2-on-1. Brozic held up his man to prevent that rush from materializing. Under a minute to go in the period. Jamison tracking it down, shovels it ahead. Petrov is there to whip it around, backhand to Langbruner. Now Petrov back up on his skates to lead the charge. 3-on-2, they get it in. Wegner and Langbruner go to the wall. Now Novak has his man tied up, and Wegner has the puck. Leading it ahead, got it to Kraft. Kraft's pass was way behind Matt Cullen. It goes all the way down, and icing with 24 seconds left in the period. Nice territorial advantage coming up here for the Lumberjacks. They've only had 3 shots in this period, Tom, but they do have a goal.
Well, that's the important thing. You look at shots, you look at quality of shots, but when it's all said and done, you look at the scoreboard, and that's the most important thing. Face-off coming back in the Moorhead zone right now. As we've talked before, the goals that are scored early or late in the period are so devastating to a team, and that's why when you've got a face-off in your own zone, as Moorhead does right now, they want to get that face-off. They want to win it, gain possession of that puck, and move it right out. But they've got it going against tough competition, as Jamie Langenfelder is taking that, or excuse me, Langenbrunner is taking that face-off for the Lumberjacks.
And Arnold is in there for the Spuds. Langenbrunner wins the draw. The shot hits traffic in front. You see the clock counting the seconds down. And this is the second period. Here's Haverlock. He is taken to the wall by Mrozik. Mrozik with the puck. Gets it to the near side for Flowert. Flowert out at center. 5 seconds left. They work it in. And the puck comes harmlessly to the near boards as seconds wind down. Mrozik playing it across. The horn goes. Period number 2 comes to an end. And we still find ourselves tied up here at 3 goals apiece. Moorhead with the edge in shots, Tom. I don't know if they've had that much of an edge in play in this period. 8-3 is a pretty sizable difference percentage-wise, but it doesn't seem to me that Cloquet was that far out of this period.
No, they certainly weren't. And when you look also at some of the shots, it was a repetition of shots. One quick shot, another quick shot, another quick shot. And Moorhead had those opportunities, and Pavlatos had to come up with a couple of key saves. And in one particular instance, I remember there were 3 quick shots in a row. So that does give you a little bit of indication, but it was a very, very closely played period.
Paul Guggenheimer down at ringside with one of the bench bosses, I guess.
All right, thank you very much, Frank. And joining me, Tom McFarland, the Cloquet head coach. Big goal by Sergei Petrov to tie things up. That had to give your team a big lift toward the end of the period.
It did. It seems like the 3 goals, Langenbrenner's done the work, and Sergei's put it in the net, and that's what's happening. It's got us back in the game.
What will you tell your team between the second and third periods here?
Well, not much. You can't get trapped. You can't let them behind us. We talked about it before the game, and our defensemen fell asleep and let them behind us. They're breaking a puck up the middle, and we're pitching our defensemen. We just can't let them behind us.
All right, Tom McFarland, thanks for joining us. Let's go back upstairs to Frank and Tom.
All right, Paul, thanks very much. We'll see you in a few seconds as you bring us that special feature on Sergei Petrov. But for now, our TCF scoreboard shows what a thrilling game this has been. Lumberjacks 3.
3 after 2. This was advertised to be perhaps the best game of the Tier 1 quarterfinals. It is not disappointing anyone. Moorhead and Cloquet going at it. And Eric Nelson is going to update us on some other matters right now.
Well, Gilly, as we're seeing in this game, school spirit a big part of the state hockey tournament for the 4th consecutive year. Toyota and your local Toyota dealer are sponsoring the Toyota School Spirit Competition. A winning school will be chosen live during the Tier 1 championship game on Saturday night. That school will win the use of a 1993 Previa van for a year. Entries have been collected from high schools around the state, and one of the 12 finalists is Central High School up in Crookston, Minnesota. The principal there is James Cowan. The enrollment 594. So congratulations to Crookston Central. Now we're going to throw it to Paul Guggenheimer.
All right, thank you, Eric. And one of the great stories of this year's state hockey tournament and of this game is Cloquet senior winger Sergei Petrov, who already has a hat trick. Petrov is the first Russian ever to take part in a Minnesota State high school hockey tournament. Here is Sergei Petrov's story.
From Russia with love, in a matter of months, foreign exchange student Sergei Petrov has skated into the hearts of Cloquet Esco Carlton hockey fans. An 18-year-old left wing from St. Petersburg, Petrov is believed to be the first Russian to play prep hockey in Minnesota. He's heard much about the state tournament and seen tapes of it. Now he's excited about finally playing in it.
You guys were talking about the state tournament. There's lots of people, lots of things going on. I don't know. Games very important. Every game important. So very excited.
Sergei came to northeastern Minnesota from Russia last July. He had already accepted a scholarship to the University of Minnesota Duluth when he enrolled at Cloquet High School to improve his English. At first, everyone, including the Lumberjack coaches, had a hard time understanding him.
Well, it's been a struggle, kind of. It started all kind of slow, and he had to learn our system and learn the way we do things here, and I think we had to learn some things from him. And he's always been a tremendous offensive player, but he's a lot better in his own end of the rink now. And in terms of getting along with the kids in the community, it's been an absolute tremendous experience for him, and it's been a great experience for our community and our kids as well.
Well, Sergei may have had to work through a language barrier, but hockey is hockey after all, and on the ice, Sergei's had no problem getting his point across.
Petrov currently leads the Lumberjacks with 31 goals scored, including one in Cloquet Esco Carleton's victory over Duluth Denfeld in the Section 7 title game. Together with Aaron Novak and Jamie Langenbrenner, they are the most productive scoring line in school history and may be the best in Minnesota high school hockey this season.
It's been really interesting. I mean, we all get along good now, and I mean, we're pretty good friends and stuff off the ice. I mean, he's taught us a lot. We've taught him a lot. He's turned into a great hockey player, complete both ends of the ice. It's been real fun playing with him.
And Sergei has adjusted well to the American classroom, boasting a 3.6 grade point average. And perhaps most importantly, he has developed a special bond with his teammates.
I like him. I like him a lot.
Have they become good friends?
Yeah, some of them very good friends.
And Petrov's goal total now up to 34 with his hat trick tonight. He says one of the most exciting things he's done here in America was attending a Def Leppard concert in Duluth. I guess he's becoming just another average American teenager. Our continuing coverage of the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament continues on KMSP.
The reviews are in, and this new Toyota is a winner. Automobile Magazine calls it a global success. Motor Trend calls it a car with definite family influences from Camry and Lexus. Detroit Free Press calls it the benchmark. We call it Corolla, presenting the all-new Toyota Corolla. Discover why, after 25 years, it's still impressing all the right people.
Here you go. Right now, buy a McDonald's extra value meal and get an NBA fantasy pack free. Or pick one up for only 59 cents with any other purchase. Win NBA fantasy prizes like ball person for a day at next year's All-Star game.
Here you go. Thanks, Bill. Anytime, Michael.
And now a word from Michael Jordan. This month's McDonald's Burger of the Month is the McJordan Special.
Like I said.
A quarter pound of beef with cheese, smoked bacon, and tangy barbecue sauce. The McJordan Special. Talk about a crowd pleaser.
Contact herbicides only work for one day, the day you spray. But weeds can come back, so check out Banvel, the only post-emerge, no atrazine alternative that works from day one. Spray it in spite for residual control of the toughest broadleaves, all the way to canopy, with no second flushes. So don't settle for one-day control. Get control from day one with Banvel.
Our fiscal year is over, and Best Buy's auditors have been working day and night counting our inventory. We're buried in overstocks, and the pressure is on. We need to clear out the old to make room for the new. So we're offering 1 year, 0% financing throughout the store, and hundreds of price reductions to cut the problem down to size. It all adds up. Big savings and 0% financing for 1 year. This week at Best Buy's fiscal year-end clearance.
Minnesota's favorite one,
It's one of those games you wouldn't mind if it never ends. We're at the end of 2 periods of play. 3-3 the score with 15 minutes to go in regulation time here at the Civic Center. 3 goals for Cloquet, all 3 goals by Sergei Petrov. And an interesting look at the young man from St. Petersburg who is now making Esco his home.
Well, interesting. We've had a number of highlights in this hockey game, and it's so important that you stay on top of the puck. Here's the first goal being scored by Moorhead in this second period. The puck came around the boards, and it was the senior defenseman Frisch taking the shot, just eluding the goaltender. Not a hard shot, but we've talked about before, you get the shot on net and anything can happen, and Frisch getting the goal with Cullen on the assist. On the second goal, then, all of a sudden was Petrov, as we talked again before. Watch his position. He started the play. He comes back into the fold again, and he lets that hard shot go, that wrist shot. And that's the experience and also the anticipation of knowing what to do with the puck when you've got it. Hanging back a little bit, but picking up and putting it in.
Frisch, his third at 6:03. Petrov, his 34th to complete the hat trick at 12:06. Langenbrunner and Thomas assisting. Langenbrunner getting the first assist on each of the 3 Petrov goals. That means in each case he touched the puck before Petrov put it in, including the first one, which Langenbrunner won a face-off, and the second goal, which Petrov scored short-handed after a nice Langenbrunner rush, and then scoring on the rebound of a Langenbrunner play. All right, one man up, the other one down. That's got to be the inevitable Tom Reed standing there looking at Gump Worsley.
I thought he was dead.
You look like you're waiting for the punchline to come, like Gump's joking on this.
I want to know what his glove is doing way over there. It shouldn't be that way.
And our thanks to the Star Tribune, newspaper of the Twin Cities, for that. How long ago was that?
Well, that had to be in the early 70s.
Was Gump really hurt there or not? Do you remember?
Well, he used to do that every once in a while. We never knew if he was hurt or not. He needed a little bit of a rest, so he used to take it.
15 minutes of regulation time to go as play is underway here. Back behind the net in the Moorhead end. They work it to the near side. And Ryan Frisch gets it out at center. Langenbrunner back to get it for the Lumberjacks. Looks for the return feed right there at his stick. He's got no one to pass it to yet, so he takes it in deep. Pops it right in front. Shot and a goal! And I'm going to guess by who's left on the ice there that it was Petrov cruising in, who might have 4, but until they pile away, I'm not sure.
He was a guy who was standing right there. Once again, we've talked about Langenbrunner all game and how he makes things happen. You watch the speed here as he just breaks in behind, but also the ability to move that puck right in behind himself, and he does just that as he puts the puck in behind, right onto the stick, and I believe that is going to be Petrov who is going to be called for it, and that will be his 4th goal. You mentioned every goal he scored. Langenbrunner is the fellow with the first assist, and nothing has changed.
And this one at a devastating time. 39 seconds of the period. Petrov with goals 32, 3, 4, and now 35. A 4-3 Lumberjack lead, but here come the Spurs with a sizzling hot drive from Jim Jacobson. Back out at center ice. Moorhead controls Jacobson, spinning around to get room. Now Josh Arnold brings it in. Avoids the check, takes it in deep, pops it right in front. Here's a drive from the circle, a rebound shot picked away neatly by Pavlonis. At the far point, a battle for it. Grammer tries to keep it in. And it comes loose. Here comes Heen, leading the rush up ice. The intended receiver there, Darren Blauert, was knocked down at center, and so it's an icing call. With the break in the action, we'll be right back with the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. On an ice level with a scout from the San Jose Sharks, Eric.
Yeah, a lot of important people in the stands. The director of player personnel for the Sharks, Chuck Brillo, with me. Chuck, Sergei Petrov, how good is he?
He's putting on a show. He can shoot a puck. He's got 4 already. It's quite an accomplishment.
Who else are you looking at in this game?
Well, I like little Josh Arnold out here. He's one of my favorites. I met him in 1980, and I've been watching his career, and it's fun to see a little player like him put on a show here.
You were in the Stars front office for a couple of years. They're going to Dallas. Your thoughts?
It's going to be tough for the young kids, I think.
All right, let's go back up top.
And we have a tie hockey game once again, as each time a team grabs the lead, someone comes back, responds with a goal. This time, defenseman Justin Wagner to tie it up.
Yep, Frank, we've talked before about how important these draws are in your own zone, and when you don't win them, something could happen. The draw coming back right to the point, and it was Wagner taking that shot, and a perfect pass all the way along as you look at the perfect shot, and a lot of traffic in front there as well, and a good low shot by the senior defenseman, just eluding Pavlatis enough, and we've got a tie game once again. We said at the beginning of this game, this was going to be a close game, and it's been a seesaw battle.
Still early in period number 3. By the way, I will get down and on my knees to Mr. Chuck Grillo. We didn't mean to give you the demotion there, Chuck, but just weren't quite sure. Couldn't see the whole camera range there. Didn't know who was coming up. Chuck, you know him very well. We all know him very well. He's a very forgiving soul, I'm sure. But I'm not sure. Forgive me for the demotion. We'll take a break right now and be back with the 1993 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Come see over 100,000 horses gathered together under one roof. The Auto Show at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
Well, there was a tip on that goal. They're going to give the goal to Paquin, who touches just in front of the net. We could not see the tip in, but there was a tip in that. They've given him the goal. Justin Wagner will get 1 assist on the goal. Matt Cullen, who won the draw, will get the other assist.
Paquin's had a pretty impressive hockey game, too. And the goals are coming in bunches here. Those were less than a minute apart. 39 seconds for the Petrov goal. Paquin scoring at 1:32, and we nearly had another one there. Now the Spuds lead a 3-man rush to center ice. Paquin plays it ahead, and it's deflected into the corner. Jason Thomas knocking it around. Paquin was knocked down on the play. And it slides to the far side. Thomas after it again. Matt Cullen was on him. Comes loose to center ice. Frisch overskates it. They bring it in onside and dump it in. Thomas, first man to it. Up on the far side, cleared by Novak, but shot right back in. And Pavlotis had to knock it away. They haul it to center ice. Here's Petrov, has 4. Moving in, and this one is turned away by Troy Brecky. Now it's set it up for Langenbrunner, and he's robbed on the doorstep. Mrozik shooting another save, and Brecky dives out to hold on. Oh, it's getting rough now.
Well, the intensity level has been here in the whole game, and what a line this is with Petrov, Langenbrunner, and also Novak. Langenbrunner was robbed on the doorstep after Petrov had a good opportunity. Novak making a perfect pass to a center iceman, number 16, Langenbrunner. Here's the initial play how it starts. You can see that Petrov was pulled down here. He still gets back up, manages to get the puck over to Novak in the corner, and look who's standing all by himself. Jamie Langenbrunner. He lets the shot go, not able to elude the goaltender, and you've got to give Brecky credit there. He did not get much help on that particular play, but these two teams have really stuck to hockey tonight.
Penalties to both sides. We'll tell you about it in a moment as we're coming up on the 3-minute mark of this period. And the score is tied at 4. High School Hockey 93 live from St. Paul.
Penalties going against Robert Grammer of Moorhead and also against Aaron Novak of Cloquet. Both those penalties coming in 2:52.
Tie game, 12 minutes left in regulation. And for a while, 2 minutes at least, we will be 4 skaters aside. On the far side, the Spuds bring it in, but back to get it is Darren Blauert. Blauert plays it up to Rick Mrozik on the near boards. Mrozik hits the Spuds line. Takes it to the far wing and then shoots it around behind the net. Filtering it after it is Jim Baskini. Rolled it right in front. And they just missed on the connection to Blauert, who was in front of the net. Now brought back in by the Spuds. Haverlock, he's tied up on the near wall. In the corner, Adam Dake trying to shoot it around. Puck pops free. And then it's shot right back in by Jamison. Cloquet regroups. Here's Bastine. He takes a hit at the line. Spuds work it back in. There to pick it up is Blauert. Nearly lost it in front of his zone. That would have been a 2-on-0. Dangerous play. Now a shot deflected, and it skipped right through. On the doorstep was Haverlock, and it was centered by Jamison. At the blue line, Arnold. Now a long shot. That's knocked down in front. Mrozik, with the stick on his tape, will control it and take it behind the net. 40 seconds left in those minor penalties. Mrozik around to the far side for his partner Dake. Dake is dropped on the far boards. Here's Cullen walking in. Cullen going to the backhand, but he was dropped. No penalty call. Arnold shooting it back around. That hits a skate. And racing to center comes Langenbrunner. 1-on-3. Darting with shooting. And it's turned away by Brecky.
Boy, what great speed Langenbrunner's got. He just broke in there and still able to get the shot with 2 men back.
Langenbrunner, just a junior, just in case you're wondering where he's going to be next year. They wrap it up on the near boards with 3 seconds left on those minors. Kept alive on the deep side by Haberlock. But then the loose puck taken by Langenbrunner. 3 men across. They wait for him. Langenbrunner shoots. And Brecky is there to steer it away to the corner. Now Novak has it. Novak slipping it back behind the net. Langenbrunner hustling for it. Wins the race to the loose puck. Pops it loose to the side. Novak in the slot shooting. That just skips through the crease wide of the net. Langenbrunner again to the corner to get it. This time he's out number 2-1. And they get some help from Paquin, who flips it out at center. Grammer playing it ahead. Louis Paquin dropped at the line, goes down in a pile, and Novak brings it back to center for the Lumberjacks. His pass is tipped away. 9.5 to go in regulation. We're tied at 4. Here comes Winans in. At the line, Wegner shooting. Wegner reaching to keep it in with a shot. And the save made by Pavlonis. He holds on.
Well, Pavlonis just grabbing onto that puck as the shot was coming. He was taking no chances at all. So he gets a little bit of a cooling drink at the same time. You can bet the intensity level of this game is not going to let up for the remainder of this game as well. With 9:16 to go, we're tied at 4 apiece. And both these teams have given an exhibition here tonight that I think anybody can be proud of.
Oh, worth the price of admission, folks. This was a good one. Last-minute changes are being made. And we'll get ready for the face-off with Matt Cullen coming in for the Spuds, wearing number 7. A scramble for it. Turnaround shot takes off and goes right up out of play.
Well, that last assist by Langenbrunner gives him the single-season Cloquet scoring record previously held by Corey Millen, going back a number of years ago.
9:09 to go in the third period here. And now Matt Cullen, is he going to be waved out or not?
29,347 in attendance at today's hockey game, with 15,269 in tonight's session.
Louis Paquin finally for the face-off for the Spuds. It's cleared out. Spuds bring it in far side. Winans was hit. Lumberjacks working ahead. Potential 2-on-1. They're onside. They lead it ahead. There's a shot, save, rebound. Another save by Brecky. First try by Krasweiler. And Brecky in tough traffic made that second save.
Passing has been excellent in this hockey game by both the hockey clubs. And you watch the plays that starts right here. You've got to take those shots when the opportunities arise. Blower coming in, makes the pass across right here. And here's a shot. Not the big slap shot, but Craswell taking that nice wrist shot. And you can see Blower in there, Carlson in there, everyone trying to get in there. But to no avail, Brecky able to make the save time after time and keep the score remain tied at 4.
Now we get ready for the draw. Josh Arnold is there. Darren Bloward is ready for Cloquet. Draw to the Spuds. Wegner works it to center. Hits the line. Nice left wing feed. They cut in deep. A wraparound try. The puck is in the crease, but it's batted away. Now back to Wegner at the line. Slides it across far point. They fan on the shot. An opportunity there for Jamieson, and it rolled away from him.
Well, you could tell he wanted to put everything into that shot.
Arnold tried to work it in front, but that was blocked on the play by Kyle Young. Cleared but not out. Wrist shot, hits a skate. Lumberjacks get it to the line. They tip it free. Heen goes after it, but it's knocked away from him. Brought back in by Salvobold, who gets free and fires. That one ripples the outside of the net. Now Arnold. This line has been explosive for the Spuds. Led to their first goal of the game. In the far corner, Jacobson. Arnold shooting. And that's blocked by Pavlonis. Cleared. Blocked at the line by Jamieson, and he dumps it in deeper. Young, first man to get it as the Spuds are changing on the fly. Ooh, that clearing attempt was nearly picked off high in the slot. Moorhead brought it to the line. They can't come away with it now. 2-on-2 the other way. Langenbrunner shooting. And a pad save by Brecky. Boy, did he get rid of that one in a hurry. And it looked terribly accurate. Now it drives to the blue line. Stopped by Pavlonis as he stops that sizzler by Haverlock and holds on. With the score, Moorhead 4, Cloquet 4. This is High School Hockey 93, live from St. Paul.
Introducing the all-new 93 Ford Ranger. Introducing the all-new Ranger Lease. $199 a month for 24 months with no money down. While the competition advertises a cheap price on a stripped-down old truck, the new Ford Ranger is totally redesigned, loaded with all this and more. And in 2 years, you could put yourself in another new Ford Ranger. Or you could be stuck in an old one of theirs. The new Ford Ranger. Just $199 a month for 24 months with no money down. See your local Northland Ford dealer today.
And the shots in the third period by Moorhead, 8, and by Cloquet, 7 shots. As you look at the save once again, both goaltenders making certain that when they have the opportunity, they're going to hang on to that puck. They're not going to give it away needlessly, and they want to make sure if they do drop it, that it's going to be one of their teammates there to pick it up.
Matt Cullen's line for Moorhead, guarding the Langenbrunner line right now, and they're lined up for this face-off. Cullen, number 7, Langenbrunner, number 16. And the puck goes behind the net. Here's Pinkin centering it. Grammer plays it across near side for Frisch for a one-timer. It sinks through, but goes wide of the net. Now Winus has it on the far side. Back behind the net, Cullen a wraparound try, but he was tied up in the play very nicely by Langenbrunner. Cloquet gets the puck, and they lead it out to center. Here's Novak, weaving his way through a check, and then it's knocked away from him. Pop up at the blue line and back out at center ice. The defenseman Frisch lobs one toward the net. Pavlonis plays it away. Picked up now by Novak ahead to Langenbrunner off ice with Petrov. 2-on-2, they bring it in. Langenbrunner takes it deep. He's wrapped up, comes right back with the puck. Centers it in front for Novak! And that shot hopped wide of the net. Behind the cage, here's Frisch. That's as close as you'll come. Arnold at center being bothered by Young. Gets it in. Here's Pakin, a backhand. Pavlonis the save. And the Lumberjacks come roaring back the other way. To center, and then they'll dump it in.
Frank, what a great hockey game. We're seeing action coming from one end to the other, and this has been non-stop since the beginning moments of this hockey contest. I'll tell you, this is the best game that we have seen in the tournament.
Salvaball breaks free, but couldn't pick up the loose puck. That pass was broken up. They try to weave it in front. It's out and back in. A delayed offside here. The Spuds will have to touch up. Instead, they come up with an interception at center now. It's taken away by Carlson. Carlson's shot is deflected, and this one goes up out of play. 5 minutes and 42 exciting seconds left in this period, and this score is tied 4-4. High School Hockey 93 live from the Civic Center.
I've always wanted to make people look and feel good about...
It's time you walk to the mess tent.
Wouldn't you like a car that handles like a sports car? One that holds...
I want my customers to love how they look. Yeah. People can stop in with convenience, even if we can't, without an appointment. They know the great haircuts at a great price.
Control of the hockey puck, and that's exactly what both these teams trying to go for right now. With just a little over 5.5 minutes to go in the third period, and we're tied.
At center ice, they tried to play it ahead for Krasweiler. He was covered. Wegner back to get it for Moorhead. Flipping it out to the line. That's broken up, and here comes Carlson trying to break in. Carlson slips a check, shoots a high one, but Brecky makes the save. Mrozik trying to tee it up. He'll have to slip it in deeper. And from behind, the centering pass hits the net. Sensrud battling for it for Cloquet, and it comes free again. Now the Spuds work at the center. Weaving in far side, Kraft, but he lost it to Mrozik. Mrozik now one man back. Mrozik the defenseman. Backhand toward the goal! Rick Mrozik! 5-4 Cloquet!
Well, Mrozik picking up that puck in the center ice zone once again, and he's with that quick burst of speed. We talk about him being one of those players that can go from the defensive position to the offensive position. He just loses a checker right here. Defenseman doing a good job really of forcing him to the backhand. Jamison, as a defenseman, when a guy comes into you, because most players have a weaker backhand shot, you want to force him to the backhand. He does that, but that low shot just eludes the goaltender. Is Brecky not able to handle it? And a big goal with just 4:55 to go, and Cloquet leading by 1.
The defenseman, Rick Mrozik, with his first playoff goal, gives the Lumberjacks a 5-4 lead, number 9 this year for the senior defenseman, who, along with Petrov, are Minnesota Duluth bound next year.
And Torrey Carlson is going to pick up the only assist on that goal at 10:05.
Now at center ice, well, the pattern here tonight has been nearly perfect. That they trade goals. Let's see what happens here. They do! Moorhead scores! It's 5-5!
Oh, this is a game to remember. One team scores, the other team comes right back. We've talked about that. Maybe when a team scores a goal, they should take a timeout. That might make things happen, but Moorhead coming back right here. As you watch the play, now you see the defensive going down here. Watch the loose puck. You've got to be in the right place at the right time, and that's exactly what happened. As I believe that's going to be Kraft who gets credit for their goal. Everybody in tight. Look at the number of players in that small area there, and chances are that someone may have helped tip that in, but nonetheless, the important thing for the Spuds is it's tied at 5.
12 seconds apart. And now they're back to get it again. Mrozik fires one across his goal mouth. Keane on the far boards gets it out at center ice. Flower flipping it in. Tracks it down. He's taken to the corner and covered well. Spuds get the puck. Taken got it to the line, but not out. And it deflects back to the near side. I still don't know who scored, Tom. Would you
Kraft.
You want to give it? We'll give it to Kraft. Lead pass broken up at the line. It pops loose to Pakin. He brings it in. Offside on the play at 4:11.
Kraft got the goal, and the assist will go to number 7, Matt Cullen, who has had a superb game here, and also to Louis Paquin, picks up the other assist.
(10-17). Time of the goal. 4:11 left now in regulation time. A 10-goal game, and it's been a thriller. Puck bounces free to the line. Petrov throwing it ahead through everybody. Will there be icing? No, they've waved it off already. Wegner now behind his own net has trouble. It's loose at the side for Novak. Langenbrunner shoots, and that's turned away by Brecky. And then a rebound try by Novak goes to the corner. Cleared to the line and back out at center. Here's Kyle Young flipping it back in. The Lumberjacks touch up. Wegner out from behind his own net. Flips it up on the far side. Langenbrunner breaks up the pass. In over for Petrov. Petrov shooting, and that's deflected to the corner. Aaron Novak tries to get free, and the puck is taken away from him. They leave it to Josh Arnold at center. Arnold hits the line, lets it go. He scores! Josh Arnold! Moorhead 6-5.
Well, Chuck Brilla was talking about Josh Arnold in that little interview we had just a little while ago, and you can see one of the reasons why. He said he has watched his career, and the 5'8" center iceman, the junior, picks one in the top corner. It looks like the shot was far enough out that it should have been able to be handled by the goaltender, but sometimes it's misleading. A little stick gets in the way, a player gets in the way, but you can see over the stick right there, and Josh Arnold gives Moorhead the lead right now. 1-goal lead with 3:23 to go. That puck just came up in a good hard shot, and sometimes you got to have some luck. Josh Arnold may say, I picked that corner. Maybe he did. The most important thing, it went in.
Arnold's second goal of the night. Goal number 25 for the year. And the lone assist on the play to Salvador. 6-5 Moorhead, 3:20 to go. It pops loose. They move right in on goal, and Brecky makes the save. This time stopping. Was that Papioni coming in? I'm not sure. If it was, it would be his first shift, so I'll take that back in a hurry. Bloward coming in.
Bloward was coming in there. He had the opportunity here to tie up this game. Watch the play right here. He's being bothered at the same time. He was looking for a hooking call. He wanted to get as much on that shot as he could. I don't think he got everything he wanted. You can see the players coming in there, and he thought there should have been a penalty, but nonetheless, no penalty called, and Brecky coming up with a key save.
Now Bloward getting ready for this face-off, and they're going to wave Cullen out. Blouard's going to go out too. Bastine comes in for Cloquet. Kraft coming in for the Moorhead Spuds. Grammer behind the net, now plays it up on the near side. Popped loose at the line. 3 minutes left in regulation. Moorhead a one-goal lead. A long shot, and it's steered away to the corner. They launch it off the boards, clear it all the way down. Might be icing here. It's rolling ever so slowly, and they wave it off, saying Grammer could have played it before it hit the line.
That was a good call by the official.
Kraft on the far side gets it free. Puck kind of dies there for a second, then it's shot in by Cullen. Rosick behind the net. Rosick scored a big goal to give Cloquet a lead, but now they're trailing again almost that quickly. From the line. Brought in on the far side by Bloward. And he'll flip it back behind the net for a Lumberjack line change on the go. Spuds work it to Paikin. He gets it out at center. Shot right back in by Young. And they filter it after it. They flip it up on the far side. The lead near 2-on-1 there. Broken up by Langbrunner. Centering it in for Petrov shooting. And that one hit his body in front of it. A diving play by Arnold to get it out at center. And back to get it is Young. Young over to Langenbrunner. Under 2 minutes into Langenbrunner fires. That was deflected into the corner. Langenbrunner tracks it down. This is the big line out there for Cloquet with still 1:45 to go in the game. Now one man back for the Lumberjacks, and a neat play there to break up the rush. That defensive gem by Kyle Young. Here's Novak. Trying to get around Wegner, it won't work. Rosick back at center. And there's 90 seconds left in regulation as they dump it in.
Execution by both teams very good at this point. The passing, head-manning the puck, and just moving in positions where you can take that pass when you have the opportunity to do so.
Paikin tied up on the near boards. And they scramble for it. It comes loose back out at center. Here's Petrov. These guys might play the last 2.5 minutes of the game. Petrov in trouble there as he went down. Now Langenbrunner in a crowd. And they poke it loose with under a minute to go in the third period. We'll keep our eye on the goaltender, Pavlonis, to see if and when they pull him. Puck back out at center. Wegner driving it in. It hit Morozic in the helmet, I think. Now in deep the Spuds. They're 1-on-5. Content to run down the clock. 40 seconds left in regulation. And Moorhead with a 1-goal lead. Langenbrunner tied up. Now it's knocked free for the moment at least. Rosick waiting for it to come loose. They're content to just let the clock chew off there, and now it finally is knocked free on the far side, but comes loose in the slot to Haberlock. Far boards now, Adam Dake shooting it back around. 15 seconds left. Cloquet's got a long way to go if they're going to score. They're deep in their own end and bottled up with time winding down. Here's Bastine trying to fire it out. Wegner blocked the fans, counted down, and the Moorhead Sparks will advance with a thrilling 6-5 victory. Well, what a game.
Frank, this has been a tremendous game, and you can tell by the jubilation on the players right there, and also the dejection on the part of the Cloquet Lumberjacks as well. Pavlanos played a very strong game, but a lot of goals scored in this contest. 11 goals total, and it was Moorhead in the lead by 1. And boy, when you play this hard, it's too bad there has to be a loser. Cloquet could not get the puck out of their own zone in the last 45 to 50 seconds of this period. They couldn't get that big line, the rest that perhaps they needed. And as a result, you've got to give Moorhead a lot of credit. They knew what to do. They had to do in the last moments of this hockey game, and they did it, and did it well.
So Moorhead again in a position, at least the opportunity, to repeat a championship game against Jefferson, but a lot has to happen before that happens, as we have just now, at the end of this one, completed the quarterfinal round, and Jefferson still has to play off against Elk River. Moorhead will have to play off tomorrow night against Hill Murray. Lots to happen. A lot can happen. But these two northern schools just continue that northern mystique of Minnesota hockey, bringing down to the city some outstanding hockey. As you look at Petrov, number 10 there, that line with Petrov and Langenbrunner was devastating.
And with him scoring 4 goals in this hockey game and being on the losing end of things, and that really has to hurt, because obviously the team has to come first. Players look at things, they look at their own individual stats in most cases after they look at this team stats. And he says, and I'm sure he'll say, what good is the 4 goals if we do not win the hockey game? And Langenbrunner, the competitor that he is, I'm sure feels the same way.
And perhaps what might be part of the difference in the game here tonight is a little more depth, a little more balance in scoring from Moorhead. They tried to put 30, 40-point men on all 3 lines. They did. Everybody contributed. And Moorhead will skate away with a 6-5 victory as they get ready for tomorrow night's rematch. Our TCF scoreboard tells the final story here. The Spuds 6, the Lumberjacks 5. And we'll be back with some final comments, some interviews coming up, and a look at our TCF player of the game, a play of the game in just a little while. Stay with us.
What say I nail the soles directly to your feet? It'll give you more traction when you're pulling the ice wagon.
You will be hearing from my attorney.
Suspension? She wants me?
Oh, she thinks I'm too expensive. I can fix that. Perfect.
Ow!
Real stories of settlers who journeyed across this land in search of new lives. Cowboys who sought adventure and freedom on the open range. Native Americans who fought for a land they loved. And a spectrum of people so diverse they could only have come together in a land as big as the West. Discover America the way it really was in the Wild West.
Premieres Sunday, March 28th at 7 on Minnesota 9.
The Moorhead Spuds 6 and the Lumberjacks from Cloquet, Esco Carlton 5. And this matchup between number 2 in the state and number 3 in the state was absolutely everything any hockey fan could ever hope for in a lifetime.
You know, it was a fun game to watch because of the seesaw battle. People like to see goals being scored. This was a perfect example of a lot of goals being scored, and last goal wins in this particular case. But it was a tremendous effort on parts of both the coaching staff. I think the players, you could tell the players were into this game right from the drop of the puck. A very cleanly played hockey game, and yet one that we, as I said earlier, hate to see someone have to go home a loser.
Scoring on some great scoring plays, as Tom mentioned, scoring on some close-in chances. Scoring on some long shots that perhaps could have been stopped by both goaltenders here today.
Well, you're right, but that's what makes it exciting. And how I can't remember, and I've probably seen a couple thousand games in my time. I can't remember seeing a game where it had a seesaw battle where a team would score and the other team could come back that quickly and score at the opposite end.
All right, standing down in our interview area is Terry Cullen, the coach of the Spuds, plus the man who scored 2 goals tonight, including the game winner, and that's Josh Arnold. And let's go down to our guys who are with them.
You guys have said it. It was predicted to be the best game of the first round, and it did not disappoint. Terry Cullen is right next to me. And Terry, you know, both teams had tournament experience and a lot of excellent hockey players, so I guess it lived up to tougher on the coaches, as you said, perhaps, than the fans who got to witness a great game. But you expected something like this, no doubt.
We certainly figured it would be close. We knew Cloquet had a very good hockey team, and I certainly thought they played well, too.
I don't know if you could paint a difference in the game other than that you got one more goal, but you certainly seem to have more depth. They rely a lot on that first line.
I thought we did, too. I thought that was to our advantage, and we thought that going in, playing the latter game tonight would be to our advantage because we could play 3 lines with regularity, and I thought we beat them to a lot more loose pucks than they won races.
Now, people would talk about having a rematch. We talked about it last year after the game with Jefferson. Everybody, I'm sure in your camp, wants to see that too, but you had a tough opponent yet ahead of you before you look that far ahead, right?
Well, I'm sure there are 7 teams that would love to have played Jefferson in the final, and we're just one of them. And we played Hill Murray a couple times this year. We scrimmaged them once and played them once, and they're a great hockey team, and it's going to take just a tremendous effort to get by them. So that's all we can look at right now.
Okay, Paul Guggenheimer is standing next door with the winning goal scorer, Mr. Arnold. Paul?
That's right, Josh Arnold joining me now. 2 goals tonight, none bigger than the one you had there when the score was tied 5-all late in the 3rd period. Describe the play for me. Here it is on the screen ahead of you.
Well, I got the pass from Greg in the zone, and I came up, and it was a 2-on-2. I just came across the slot, and we wanted to get more shots on the net because he was having trouble with the rebound, so I just shot it, and luckily it went in.
That was a heck of a shot.
I think it's more luck than skill. I don't know.
You're an honest young man. Now, Tom Reed was saying earlier that he has never seen such a seesaw battle like that. Have you ever played in a game like that?
No, not at tournament time. It's hard when you're down by 1 with 4 minutes left. You don't know. You don't panic, but we didn't panic at all. We just came back, and that's what we needed to do.
We're going to take a look at your first goal. Now, describe this play.
Can you remember?
We got the draw, I think, and Joel Jameson, and I think their D was changing, and I just went up the middle, and it was a perfect pass, and I saw the left side, and I just deked and went upstairs.
That was not luck. That was a great move. Now the question is, looking ahead, I'm sure you're looking ahead to the rematch with Jefferson, but you do have Hill Murray to try and get by tomorrow night. How do you feel about that matchup?
It's going to be a tough game. They got 3 good lines, so we're going to be able to go 1, 2, 3, and so are they. So I think it should be a pretty equal game, and it's just going to be who wants it more.
You going to have a tough time getting to sleep tonight?
I think so.
Well, try to get some rest, Josh Arnold, and good luck to you and the Moorhead Spuds the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back upstairs now to Frank and Tom. All right, Paul, thanks very much. Just a junior is Josh Arnold, captain of the team, led by example tonight, that's for sure.
Well, he did, and you could tell the enthusiasm. Also, very honest, as he said. It was a lucky shot, and so often you have players say, well, I picked this corner or that corner, I put the puck on the side, whatever. But he doesn't care how they go in as long as they go in.
All right, we still need to show you a TCF play of the game, and we will do that in just a moment here at the Civic Center.
It's your Toyota dealer's Minnesota State Tournament Sale. Toyota buyers face off for 4 days of great savings. Corolla gets the save with an incredibly low monthly lease payment. All new for '93. It's Toyota dependability at a real more-for-your-money deal. Camry scores with great lease deals, giving you exceptional value. Save up to $2,000 in factory-to-dealer incentives on T100, Toyota's new bigger truck for full-size utility. With easy financing and immediate delivery, it's a big Toyota power play. It's only a 4-day tournament sale, and your time to score is now.
Contact herbicides only work for one day, the day you spray. But weeds can come back, so check out Banvel, the only post-emerge, no atrazine alternative that works from day 1. Spray it at spike for residual control of the toughest broadleaves all the way to canopy, with no second flushes. So don't settle for one-day control. Get control from day 1 with Banvel.
Play it again. 6-5, our final score here at the Civic Center in dramatic fashion, and from time to time I do like to run into games where you can say that the last team that scores win, and it certainly was the case tonight. When you get a flurry like that and they're just going back and forth, it seems like only the horn is going to stop the scoring, and that was the case here tonight.
Well, you know what's also exciting is the fact that the fans were right here to the end, too. They were watching every goal being scored here, and here's the final goal of the night. We talked about Josh Arnold coming in here, and you know, he said he wanted to take some shots because he's having trouble with the rebounds of the goaltender at the opposite end. He let that shot go, but there was no rebound as the twine just dented, and that was a key goal and our play of the game.
Our TCF play of the game looks like a well-placed shot. The shooter says he was a tad bit lucky on that one. In either case, it counts, and it gives Moorhead that 6-5 lead and victory in this quarterfinal action. All right, we're going to go back to our, what do we call them, wholesome threesome. Downstairs, he'll recap today's action.
You tried that last night, and we gave you a little rock and roll, but we're feeling a little tired tonight. We're saving it up for the semifinals.
Come on, Gilly.
Well, Mr. Guggenheimer, I know you followed this Cloquet team all year long, and they're heartbroken tonight, but they did give us, these 2 teams combined, the best show so far.
It's somewhat of a cliche, but they both left it all out there. Certainly the Lumberjacks have nothing to be ashamed of, and Moorhead just hung in there and kept battling them, and They wanted it badly, and they came out on top in the end. And I think they're going to give a real strong game to Hill Murray and possibly Bloomington Jefferson in the final.
You know, we keep mentioning Bloomington Jefferson, and we kind of shoveled Elk River off to the back page, and all they did today was win 9-0 and show that they can fly, and they're going to have some quickness that could present problems for any team, including Bloomington Jefferson.
I think if Elk River could get 4 or 5 goals against Bloomington Jefferson, they would be very happy. They would take that. They'd have a chance to win the game. But again, Jefferson is what you measure yourself against in this tournament. They're number 1. They're dominant, and I think Elk River is going to have to play their best game of the year to win tomorrow.
And then, of course, in the afternoon, we're going to be over at the Target Center taking a look at the Tier 2 semifinals. And unfortunately, we won't have pro hockey there, at least for some time. But the high schools will be backdrop against that pretty center stage of Target Center. We're looking forward to getting over there and catching the action tomorrow. So that's the way it looks down here. We'll go back up to you guys.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. And as we take a look at that schedule for tomorrow, for those of you watching tonight along the northern reaches of our high school hockey network, still find a lot of northern flavor in this one, particularly in the first game tomorrow afternoon, which we will have on the network with Sibley taking on Lake of the Woods Baudette. And St. Cloud Cathedral then will face Eveleth Gilbert in the second game in the afternoon. And then we move back here to the Civic Center for Tier 1 action.
You know, when you look at these matchups also, the one thing you want to remember is these teams have advanced at this point. They have nothing to lose now. They want to go for those final games. And you can bet that we're going to see some good action tomorrow. The problem with the teams that have won is trying to get some rest tonight because they're going to be geared up. They're going to be hyped up because we've made it this far. We're going to make sure things happen even better for us tomorrow.
All right, and that's it for tonight. It's a wrap. And for our wholesome threesome downstairs, us two plain average guys up here, and the dynamic duo of Wally Shaver and Lou Lanny, who will return at noon tomorrow, this is Frank Mazzacco saying good night, everybody.